Hello and welcome to my documentary. Today I will be talking to you about Cbc Codebreaker. My name is Christopher Martinez. What is Cbc Codebreaker? Well, Cbc Codebreaker is a metalinguistic tool, meaning that it helps you think successfully in two languages simultaneously. Cbc Codebreaker is a card game created by Suzanne Rajkumar. What does Cbc Codebreaker help you with? Um, CBC Codebreaker helps you to process the sentence code better. It helps you think in two languages at the same time. Right now it's English and Spanish. And it also helps you reinforce your knowledge of tenses in both languages, meaning that you will know the past, present, and future tenses of both English and Spanish just by playing Codebreaker. Okay. How to play Codebreaker. It has a really simple rule. You have to be the first to correctly match the English pronoun with its Spanish suffix. By doing this, you will be able to think in Spanish and English at the same time and try to match the sentence. But there's a penalty. If you make a mistake and do not match the right pronoun, that means that you have to pay one of your winning suffix cards and put it in the deck. For example, if you have, let's say, 3 cards, and if you, in one round, you put the wrong English pronoun, that means that you have to grab one of your 3 cards and put it back at the deck. And the winning rule. The player with the most suffixes cards by the end of the match is declared the winner. The cards. They are in different colors. Like there are 4 colors for the playable card for the players. There is red, blue, yellow, and purple. There are 10 player cards, which is the English pronouns and the ending, which is I, you, he, she, it, we, they, to plus a verb, ed, and ing. And there are 4 cards. There are 10 cards. Those 10 cards, the pronouns, they can be used for 4 different teams or 4 different players. How to win? You need to match the pronoun with the correct Spanish suffix. And the deck and player cards. There is one deck of Spanish suffixes, which is here in this one in the middle, and there are 4 sets of player cards, which are in different colors. The reason for having different colors is that so we can distinguish the which card is for which player, so there is no confusion. And this is a CBC Codebreaker collage. In here, there are a lot of different pictures that describes the game. For example, in here, the picture in the middle, it shows Codebreaker fun, fast, and unforgettable. You can see all of the cards and in the 4 different colors. You can see the back of the Spanish suffixes cards. You can also see these kids. These are from different public schools and private schools, and they're all learning and having fun playing Codebreaker. And Codebreaker helps with different ages. It works with as children and also like adults. In here we have 2 pictures that they are adults learning and playing with the game Codebreaker. So Codebreaker is a game that is actually really helpful. For example, there has been people that they have actually learned from this. For example, the creator Suzanne Rajkumar, when she introduced the game to some people and played with them, she asked those people questions and asked them like, what did they think about the game? Did they think that they learned something new or something better? And all of those people replied that they actually know how to think in Spanish and English at the same time. Like when they see one Spanish word, they can automatically think that same sentence in English. So they can think in both Spanish and English at the same time. So Codebreaker is a really successful game that helps you think in two languages, and that's why it is a meta-linguistic tool. Thank you for your attention.
Hello.
Good afternoon. My name is Christopher Martinez, and I'm going to be interviewing Suzanne Rajkumar, the creator of Codebreaker, for my documentary. Okay.
Hi, good afternoon.
So my first question for you, Suzanne, is that what inspired you to create the game Codebreaker?
My students, really, two things actually. My students, and I am not from Honduras, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago, and the socializing in Honduras is very different to my country. People don't play together. Most games are either sports, and men play football a lot, some women, but not the majority. And people don't really engage in too many tabletop games. So, a combination of nostalgia, feeling homesick, and missing socializing. And my students had a real issue, and I believe that playing a game, would help activate and stimulate their understanding of the concepts. So both
Thank you,
those things helped.
thank you for your response. Now for my second question, like, what impact did you want what impact did you want Codebreaker to have in the world?
Oh, the world. Well, the impact for me would be to give everyone the opportunity to study a second language, make it equitable for everyone, break the monopoly of private
Okay,
institutions.
okay, thank you.
I believe everyone deserves the
Were
right to quality education.
I believe in that too. Like, were there any obstacles in the process of creating the game?
Oh, yeah. Lots. For example, a lot of organizing the legal issues regarding trying to register my game and getting the legal elements prepared is very expensive in Honduras. And sometimes you don't always have the cash to do this. So there are lots of issues with trying to define the legal parameters. Plus, from moving from crayons and cutting to actually producing in a printery and actually getting the physical game, this actually is the physical element of our game. To create this, wow, we went through a lot of different designs, colors, change, etc. It was quite an adventure.
Okay, I imagine. Um, and I'm curious, like, why did you choose the name Codebreaker for your game?
Actually, the name Codebreaker was given to the game by my students. When we were doing the pilot trials, I would take it to them. And when we were playing, different groups of students would say, "Teacher, I got it. I understand the code. I understand the code." And I was like, every time that's what different groups of students would say. So, really and truly, my students named the game because they always kept referring to it as breaking the code between the language and understanding the difference.
That's really interesting. Now for my last question is, what what is the purpose of the game?
Okay, in neurolinguistics, we have two kinds of memory elements. We have implicit memory and explicit memory. Implicit memory is that part of our brain that helps us learn how to walk and ride a bike. We don't have to learn to walk every day. You learn to walk once and then your brain remembers it, so it repeats the activity. So it's similar to languages. With the game, what the game does is that it stimulates our implicit memory elements in our brain. So when you're playing the game over and over and over, it activates the habit. So the fact that you're repeating the activity over and over, then it becomes automatic. It's an automatic recall. You don't have to memorize, you don't have to study a whole set of words and elements, because explicit memorizing is like when you're studying for an exam and you have a long list of information and you're studying it over and over. And when you're finished with the exam, you don't really remember all the data that you studied. You might remember some of it. Well, the game is designed to stimulate the implicit memory processing element. And that way, students just have a natural automatic recall to move from English to Spanish. So they can switch between both codes. We tested in French, and we've had teachers who teach German say that it can work for German. And we also tested in a group with Chinese students who said it could function also for, they can see it working. Between Mandarin and English. So we know that the game can be applied to all Romance languages, Portuguese, Italian, French. Definitely, it functions there. And we have had comments that it can function for German and for Mandarin as well. So we're excited to expand to different languages in the future.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. That was all that I wanted to ask you. I really appreciate all of your answers and clearing out all of the doubts I had.
Thank you very
Thank
much for this interview. Thank you.